And the first function we are given is this 3x to the power 4 minus 4x cube minus 12x square plus 5. Yeah, right. We have to find out the intervals of x for which this function is strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. Now, we know that for strictly increasing, you have to solve the inequality f dash x greater than 0, right? For increasing, the inequality was f dash x greater than equal to 0, but for strictly increasing, we can't take equality. So that is why it should be 3x to the power 4 minus 4x. Sorry, this must be 4x. So that is why it is f dash x greater than 0, because we have to find out the intervals of x for strictly increasing. Right now, strictly word is very important for us because this changes the inequality. Not a lot, but a simple change in a minor change in inequality, that f dash x greater than 0, right? So let's first start with f dash x first. So f dash x would be 12x cube, right? 12x cube minus 12x square minus 24x and plus 5 would be 0, right? We can take 12 common. So it would be, in fact, we can also take x common. So if we take 12x common, then it is x square minus x minus 2, right? Can you factorize this quickly? Can you guys factorize this? Try to factorize this. Tell me the factors, linear factors of x square minus x minus 2. Anyone? What are the factors of x square minus x minus 2? You just have to find out two numbers whose sum is -1 and whose product is -2. Sum is -1 and product is -2. Not 2 and -1. Umamuddin, it must be -2 and 1. No. If you add -2 and 1, then the summation would be -1. And if you multiply them, then it would be -2. So the numbers must be -2 and 1. So it can be further factorized into 12x into x minus 2 into x plus 1. X minus 2 and x plus 1. Yeah, right, Shai. Good. So f dash x is this function. Now what do we want? Let's calculate first for strictly increasing. For strictly increasing, f dash x must be greater than 0, right? We know what is f dash x. So 12x into x minus 2 into x plus 1 must be greater than 0. Now, I can take this 12 to the right hand side. That doesn't affect the inequality. If I take 12, then it will become 0 by 12, and which would be again 0. So basically, I have three factors now: x, x minus 2, and x plus 1. There are three linear factors. So first, I will find out all the zeros or all the roots of this equation. Now the roots are, this is one linear factor, which is x. So the 0 is 0. Root is 0. Now, root for this is 2 and root for this is -1. So we basically have 3 roots, 0, -1 and 2, which means that if you put x is equals to 0 or x is equals to 2 or x is equals to -1, you will get 0 for left hand side, right? Now, after that, I will check whether the coefficient of x is positive or not in every case. In the first case, the linear factor is x, coefficient is positive. Then x minus 2, again, coefficient is positive. Then x plus 1, coefficient of x is again positive. So coefficient of x is positive in all the cases. So I can directly go to number line. Now I will have to plot 3 points on number line according to their order. First -1, then 0, then 2. Somewhere will be infinity. It will start from -infinity, right? I will have to give every interval a sign. I will start with the rightmost interval, with this interval. I will first give this interval a sign. And what will be the sign given to this? Whatever sign is outside your expression, this whole expression.
Positive.
Positive. So it should start with positive. Then we will keep changing this alternatively. Now we know when f dash x is positive and when f dash x is negative, right? So the answer would be, if we want the function to be strictly increasing, which is greater than 0, for greater than 0, we will choose this positive wala portion, all the portion which is inside this positive. So this is your strictly increasing. And whatever is left will be your strictly decreasing. So for strictly increasing, the interval will be should be x belongs to -1 to 0 union 2 to infinity. But observe this. What does this? I mean, what is changed between strictly increasing and increasing? What is the difference between increasing and strictly decreasing? Strictly increasing. Strictly increasing will not contain the sign of inequality. Sorry, equality. And increasing will contain the sign of inequality. So if it would have been increasing only, for increasing function, then I would have applied f dash x greater than 0, greater than equal to 0. And what does that mean? How would that affect our answer? बस मैं यहाँ पे जो मैंने small brackets use किए हैं, I would have used this. I would have used this. Infinity तो I will have to use open interval only. But if it was increasing function, then I would be using these intervals, closed interval. And if it's strictly increasing, then I would be using open interval, because the value cannot be equal to 0, which means that equality will not hold at any point. So for strictly increasing, your x should be in between -1 to 0 and 2 to infinity. And for strictly decreasing, you will have to take the negative portion. So I'll be so for strictly decreasing, x should be in between -infinity to -1 union 0 to 2. That is how we can find out the interval of x for which a given function is increasing or strictly increasing, decreasing or strictly decreasing, whatever is given to you.
Sir,
Yes.
for just decreasing, we have to use closed brackets.
Yes. For increasing, this small bracket or this open bracket will be replaced by closed bracket. But obviously, you can't use closed bracket at infinity. Just remember that. There is no value which is equal to infinity. So we always use open interval at infinity. But other than that, whatever points are there, other than plus minus infinity, you will use closed interval on every point. गाइस प्लीज फील फ्री टू आस्क योर डाउट्स। जहां पे भी समझ नहीं आया कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है, मतलब पूछने का है। अगर नहीं पूछेंगे तो प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि अभी क्वेश्चन तुमको ही करने हैं। नेक्स्ट, पहले एक क्वेश्चन तुम लोग करोगे, देन वी विल प्रोसीड टू नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, नेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन। ओके, चलो लेट्स सॉल्व दिस वन। सॉल्व दिस 10th।
Sir, which one you are?
10th, question number 10. You have 2 minutes, please start. Anji, हुआ solve? X minus 1 whole cube into x minus 2 whole square. What is f dash x? First of all, we'll start with this. Is this the question? Expression? X minus 1 cube, x minus 2 square. Okay. Okay. Then find out the interval shape for increasing and decreasing, strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. Whatever. I mean, you know the difference. So whatever you are telling me, just tell me I am telling this for strictly increasing or increasing. Anyone else? What is it? How did you calculate f dash x? I'm more interested in that. Because you have solved a question like that and I told you how to solve this. So do you remember how to find out the differentiation in this case? I mean, one way is to solve x minus 1 whole cube and x minus 2 whole square, but we shouldn't do that.
Logs.
Yeah, that is also one approach, but log की भी जरूरत नहीं है यार शाबाश, log तक क्यों जाना है? मतलब normally we can apply product rule. If we apply product rule directly here, then there are two terms. One is x minus 1 whole cube and second is x minus 2 whole square. And we can differentiate this using chain rule. So f dash x would be, first term is x minus 1 cube. Now let's start differentiating x minus 1 cube. X minus 1 cube would be 3 times x minus 1 whole square, first power, then x minus 1. Now the differentiation of x minus 1 would be 1. X would be 1 and minus 1 would be 0. So this is nothing but 1. So after this, we only get x minus 2 whole square. This is as it is, differentiation of first, second as it is, plus first as it is, differentiation of second. This is 2 for सबसे पहले power का, power at 2. So we will take 2 outside and reduce the power by 1. So it should be x minus 2 to the whole power 1. And then the differentiation of x minus 2 would be 1. So this is nothing but this. That is how you should calculate the differentiation here, because it will help you in finding out the linear factors easily. After this point, you can take common. Now, what can be taken common? X minus 1 whole square can be taken common, first of all. And then x minus 2 also can be taken common. So what will be you left with in the first term? First term will be 3 into x minus 2. Because there is one more x minus 2 here, right? Plus 2, and then here, there will be one more x minus 1. Right? So tx minus 6 plus 2x minus 2. So it should be, I think you have miscalculated. Right. This should be my f dash x. Now for strictly increasing, we need to solve f dash x must be greater than 0. And for strictly decreasing, f dash x must be less than 0. Let's solve this one. Guys, what's the problem? I mean, ask me, no? If you are not able to solve something, then ask me. But ये तो question आएगा ही, मतलब ये तो सबसे basic question है इस chapter का यार. Things will only get harder in this class now. These are basic questions of increasing and decreasing. I mean, you will surely get a question from this portion of 2 marks or 3 marks. If the marks are more, then the question will be harder. If marks are 2, 1 or 3, then there might be a question from this portion which we are doing right now. So this is x minus 1 whole square, x minus 2, 5x minus 8 greater than 0. Now we know there is a power, I mean, there is a linear factor which has an even power, right? So I can directly delete this. I can directly delete this, right? I think I have written the rule somewhere above when powers of linear factor are involved. So yeah, this is the rule that replace all odd powers with 1 and delete the linear factor with even power, right? But you will also have to remember this, that when you are deleting the linear factors with even power, for example, you are deleting this x minus 2 whole square, right? But this x minus 2 whole square can only do one thing now. I mean, this x minus 2 whole square will not affect your sign, because x minus 2 whole square is always positive. If you multiply a positive number with something, it does not change the sign of another thing. For example, if I have minus 2, right? And if I multiply minus 2 with any positive number, then the sign will be negative only, right? If you multiply minus 2 with any positive number, the sign is negative only, right? So positive numbers do not change the sign while they gets multiplied with another number, right? While negative number change the sign of any number. So let's take a number minus 1. If you multiply minus 1 with another negative number, minus 4, then the sign would be positive, right? So the multiplication with a negative number changes the sign. If you multiply any negative number with another negative number, it will change its sign. And similarly, if you multiply a positive number with a negative number, then it also changes the sign, right? So the number was 1. I wanted to multiply it with a positive number, the sign will remain same. If I want to multiply any number with a negative number, the sign will definitely change, right? So why did we delete x minus 2 whole square is because it's a positive quantity. It will never change the sign of anything. We wanted to assess only the factors which can change your sign, which can also take negative values. For example, in x minus 3 whole cube, if you take any value greater than 3 for x, then the sign will be positive of this expression. For x, I'm only talking about this x minus 3 whole cube. Just for this, if you take x greater than 3, then the expression will be positive, this expression x minus 3 whole cube. And if you take any x less than 3, then this whole expression will be negative. So this particular expression, x minus 3 whole cube, can take positive as well as negative values. But now let's talk about this expression, x minus 2 whole square. This particular expression will only take positive values. This will never be negative. So I am taking this factor, क्योंकि ये पॉजिटिव भी हो सकता है, नेगेटिव भी हो सकता है, तो आई वांटेड टू नो कहां पे ये पॉजिटिव है, कहां पे ये नेगेटिव है, राइट? बट इस केस में मेरे को ऑलरेडी पता है कि ये हमेशा पॉजिटिव ही रहेगा. इसकी मिनिमम वैल्यू 0 हो सकती है जब आप x को 2 रखोगे. व्हेन यू पुट x इक्वल्स टू 2, देन द मिनिमम वैल्यू विल बी 0. अदर देन दैट, इन एवरी केस इट विल बी पॉजिटिव. You put any value of x here other than 2, right? So that is why we are deleting this factor. That is why we delete all the even powers, because all the even powers will definitely give only positive answers. So they are not changing the sign of whole expression, overall expression, right? This is the concept behind deleting the linear factors with even power, right? But now, having said that, also focus on this, that x minus 2, if you put x is equals to 2, then this whole expression becomes 0, right? And here it's equality given. So in cases of equality, when you delete these powers, when you delete these linear factors with even power, just write this solution. I mean, x is equals to 2 is a solution of this equation. Why? Because if you put x is equals to 2, then the whole LHS becomes 0, which is inequality with right hand side, right? So while deleting this, what we should have done, we should have mentioned it that x is equals to 2 is a solution of the whole equation. But other than that, this has no role. This has no role other than this. The only role of x minus 2 whole square. The only job that x minus 2 whole square can do here is it can make the whole expression equals to 0. And because the equality is given, it is greater than equals to 0. That is why we are taking this, that x is equals to 2 is also a solution of the equation, right? But मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा नहीं था, देखो last class में क्यों नहीं लिखा था? Why did I not write while solving this question? Because we have already included this interval. X is equals to 2 is already included in this interval, minus infinity to 3. During minus infinity to 3, x is equals to 2 will come, right? That is why I did not mention this solution वहां पे. But now this becomes important. Why? क्योंकि see, yeah, so I am solving strictly increasing function, right? So f dash x is greater than 0. But if, let's say, I would be solving for increasing function only, then f dash x would be greater than equal to 0, right? In that case, I would have written here x is equals to 1 is also a solution. तो बस साइड में मेंशन करके रख दो कि हाँ x is equals to 1 is also a solution of this equation, and mention this just in the side, right? So after, when you reach to the final answer, you will have to include x is equals to 1 in that case. But right now this is not a problem because there is no equality given to us. If there is no equality given to us, you can directly delete this factor. क्यों? क्योंकि अभी x के ऊपर 1 भी रखेंगे तो 0 के बराबर होगा, बट हमें तो चाहिए नहीं ना 0 के बराबर, हमें तो greater than 0 चाहिए. We need greater than 0. We don't need the whole expression equals to 0. So that is why I can directly delete this expression. This point I have not mentioned in the last class because I thought it would not be. I mean, first I wanted you to understand the process. Then we can go through these small technicalities. So yeah, so we can directly delete x minus 1 whole square. We only have x minus 2 and 5x minus 8 greater than 0. Because x minus 1 whole square is already greater than 0. This is a positive quantity. This is just like some positive constant. I mean, definitely this is not a constant, but this is a positive quantity. Right now, it does not affect the sign of whole expression. Okay, now I will find out the roots. What are the roots? One root is 2. For this, the root is 2. Okay. And for this, the root is 8 upon 5. 8 upon 5. What is 8 upon 5? 1.6. 1.6 should be come here before 2, right? Now, next thing, coefficient of x is positive or not? Coefficient of x positive or not?
Positive.
Both positive, right? In one, the coefficient is +1 in the first factor, and in the second factor, the coefficient is +5. We don't care about +5 or +7 or +10. As long as it's positive, we are okay with it, right? Now, we will check the sign outside the expression. Sign outside the expression is positive. So we will start with positive, negative, positive. Now, what do we want? We want strictly increasing. Strictly increasing. For strictly increasing, take all the portion which has positive sign. It should be minus infinity to 8 upon 5 union 8 upon 5. Oh, sorry, 2 to infinity union 2 to infinity. And for strictly decreasing, x belongs to 8 by 5 to 2. Yes, do you understand this? I mean, I'm not sure whether we got this or not. But please feel free to reach to me if you have any problem. And you done for everyone? Chalo, theek hai fir. Let's solve this one. This is also a very interesting question. 14th. After 14th, we will move on to 2-3 more questions. So, I mean, 2 questions from these parts. Trigonometry wali questions. So yeah, let's solve 14th first. Just a minute. कुछ क्वेश्चन तो हम कर ही चुके हैं. I mean, we will solve 5 to 6 questions. We have already solved 4 questions, and we will also solve, I mean, three, 4 more questions. Other than that, the homework for you guys will be to solve this 6.1.3. There are 15 questions in this, and then there are 6 questions in this. So you will have to solve these 21 questions up to next class. That is Monday, right? We will have off tomorrow, Sunday. Please try to solve it. Okay, let's start with 14th. 14th is fx is given as x cube plus 1 upon x cube. You will have to find out x cube plus 1 upon x cube. Yeah, right. Sure. Let's start this. This is one interesting question, and also I would teach you the application of wavy curve in this case. This is, you can assume this as the most difficult question, or rather than that, I mean, the highest version of wavy curve. Wavy curve is not only applicable in the way I taught you. Wavy curve is applicable in multiple cases, and I will show you another application of wavy curve now. So the function given to us is x cube plus 1 upon x square, 1 upon x cube. First of all, we need to find out f dash x. F dash x would be 3x square, right? 3x square. And this is nothing but, okay, so I can write this like x cube plus x to the power minus 3. X cube plus x to the power minus 3. So this would be 3x square, and then this would be minus 3. My bad. Minus 3. And this would be x to the power minus 4, right? Minus 3 minus 1. So you can take 3 common. So this must be x square minus 1 upon x to the power 4. Right? Now, this whole expression, I mean, you can take LCM of this, and you can further simplify the expression, because you get nothing. Till now, you got nothing, right? Or also you can do one thing. Chalo, before we go, can we do that? Just a minute. Yeah, we can go either way. Okay, so we can apply either a square minus b square here, or we can take LCM, whatever you want to do. Chalo, let's take LCM, because if we apply a square minus b square, then also we need to do 2 calculations. So agar a square minus b square apply karte hain, to dekho, we can write it like this. Right? We can write it like this. And now we can again take LCM. So yeah, if we take this approach, then also we need to do more. We actually need to do more calculations. So rather than this, solve it like this. Take the LCM here only. So it would be 3 times x to the power 6 minus 1 divided by x to the power 4. Right? And now apply. This is 3 upon x to the power 4. This is nothing but a cube minus b cube. Okay. So this, I'm writing it like this. Can I write it like this? This is nothing but x square whole cube, right? x square whole cube minus 1 whole cube, which would be x to the power 6 minus 1. And now this a cube minus b cube can be written as a minus b, a minus b. A here is x square and b here is 1. So this is a minus b, a square plus b square minus ab. A square plus b square minus ab. Right? Okay, this can be further. We know what we need to do. We have to find the linear factors up to the point we can find them. चलो जी, दो linear factors तो इससे आगे x square minus 1 को हम x minus 1 into x plus 1 लिख सकते हैं, right? Now we will have to again factorize this x की power 4 minus x square plus 1. Somebody know how to factorize? अच्छा, चलो कोई नहीं. So should I teach you this? I mean, there are multiple ways to solve this again. So how should I show you this? Okay, go here. This particular expression can be written like this, and this can be written like this. Right? And then this x cube minus 1 will be written as x minus 1, a cube, this is nothing but a cube minus b cube. A cube minus b cube is a minus b, right? A minus b, a square. My bad. This should be plus. A square plus b square plus ab. Yeah, that is what I was thinking actually. So there must be a mistake. Yeah, now we can factorize directly from here. We can directly factorize from here. But अगर आप यहाँ से factorize ना कर पा रहे, if you are not able to factorize from this portion, because this is a biquadratic equation, right? X to the power 4 plus x square plus 1. This will not be easy to solve. You won't be able to easily solve this, right? Right now, whatever expression is written, this is, I mean, this factorization is very easy. X to the power 4 plus x square plus 1. This is easy. But if there is another expression in biquadratic that is power 4, you won't be able to easily solve that expression. Okay, but this is easy. Now, so that is why I was doing this. I was going through this. क्योंकि यहाँ से मेरे पास easy expression था. I have to just factorize x cube minus 1 cube and x cube plus 1 cube, which can be easily factorized using a cube minus b cube and a cube plus b cube, right? Because I have used the formula wrong here. Right? So now I will go from here only. That you can do, right? That you guys also know how to do this. You will have to apply a cube minus b cube and a cube plus b cube, and you will easily get the factors which you are getting here. See, how can you get the factors from x to the power 4 plus x square plus 1? So what I'm doing is I'm adding and subtracting x square from this. If I add and subtract 1x square from the whole equation, it doesn't change the equation, right? Because they are ultimately, I have added nothing but 0. Right? So this is x to the power 4 plus 2x square plus 1 minus x square. Right? Okay, I'll factorize this particular part only now. So this formula is a square plus b square plus 2ab. This is nothing but whole square of x square plus 1. Whole square of x square plus 1. If you open the whole square of x square plus 1, you will get this x to the power 4 plus 1 plus 2x square. And this is whole square of x. This particular term. Right? So this is nothing but a square minus b square. a square minus b square, which is a plus b, a minus b, a minus b, a plus b. So this particular term x square x की power 4 plus 1 plus x square, this particular term can also be written as x square plus x plus 1 and x square minus x plus 1. X square minus x plus 1, x square plus x plus 1. Right? So the difficult part is just to make this available in the form of wavy curve. And wavy curve demands linear factors. Wavy curve demands the factorization of the whole expression. So you will have to factorize the whole expression, and sometimes that factorization can be made difficult depending on the expression of the fx. So right now we have used a difficult expression for fx, x cube plus 1 upon x cube, and f dash x would be this, and this may be tough to solve. I mean, this may be difficult to solve if you are not good with your algebra concepts or factorization concepts. So now we have reached here. After this, again, I will have to factorize this too. This is nothing but linear factor, x square plus x plus 1, and this is x square minus x plus 1. I mean, sorry, quadratic factors. So a quadratic expression can be further factorized into two linear factors, right? Now, one way is to use the middle term splitting, जो अभी हमने ऊपर भी लगाया था, right? Middle term splitting से हम इसको factorize कर सकते हैं. But there is one more way. I mean, sometimes it won't be easy to solve a particular quadratic expression through splitting the middle term. So we can use what? Is there another formula to find out the roots of a quadratic expression? Quadratic formula, if you remember, which was, you can find out the roots of any equation as x is equals to minus b plus minus root d divided by 2a, where d was what? B square minus 4ac. Now these are two quadratic equations, so let's first find out d for both of them. What is d here? B square. B is 1. You know ABC, right? Guys, you know how to work out quadratic formula. If not, then please ask me. कोई problem ही नहीं है, मतलब हाँ अभी clear कर सकते हैं इस बात को. But I am assuming that everybody knows this. If not, then just raise your hand. I will explain the whole concept. Or text me. Okay, in that case, yeah, A is x square coefficient, B is x coefficient, C is constant term, right? So B square minus 4AC would be 1 square, 1 minus 4 into A is 1, C is also 1. So this is 4, 1 minus 4, which is negative. Now, if the D was negative, then there is no real root, right? There was no real root. It means if D is negative, then we cannot factorize this. We cannot factorize this x square plus x plus 1. No, not possible. No, not possible. Right? And when we can't factorize a quadratic formula or a quadratic expression, like we can't factorize this x square plus x plus 1 in this case, then we also delete that particular expression. If we are not able to factorize a particular expression, remember this, if we are not able to factorize a quadratic expression because d is negative, it means that you can delete that particular expression from wavy curve, right? And now let's find out d for this also. So d for this would be, b is minus 1 here, right? So b square would be 1 minus 4ac would be 4, again negative. So both of them are negative. It means no real roots. It means no real roots, right? Okay, चलो जी, ये हुआ अपना f dash x. First of all, now for strictly increasing, we cannot further factorize this, that we know, because the d value of discriminant is negative for both the quadratic expressions. We need to find out the interval of x for which fx is increasing. So for strictly increasing, or rather than that, let's take increasing only. For increasing, we can take anything, but we have been solving for the 2-question strictly increasing part. So let's take increasing for this one. For increasing, f dash x is greater than 0. Okay? And for decreasing, we know that f dash x is less than 0. Let's start solving this equation f dash x greater than 0. F dash x greater than 0 gives us what? F dash x greater than 0 gives us 3 upon x to the power 4, x minus 1, x plus 1, then x square plus x plus 1, x square minus x plus 1, greater than equal to 0. Sorry, this is increasing only. And this is decreasing, my bad. So for increasing, it must be greater than equals to 0. And for decreasing, it must be f dash x must be less than equals to 0. Now we want to find out for increasing first. Obviously, we will be able to find out increasing and decreasing in a single go. Yeah, so first of all, rule. The expressions, or sorry, the quadratic expressions this is an important point. The quadratic expressions which do not have real roots can be directly removed from the wavy curve expression. Just remember one thing. Okay, just remember one thing. If the coefficient of x square is positive, then you should directly remove this. And if the coefficient of x square is negative, okay, this is important. While removing the expression, focus on coefficient of x square. Okay. There may be two cases. First, if it's positive, if it is positive, my bad. Just a minute. If it's positive, remove directly. Just remove the expression. You don't need to do anything. But if it is negative, remove and apply a negative sign on the whole expression. So for example, if the expression would have been this 3 upon x to the power 4, x minus 1, x plus 1 into minus x square plus x plus 1 and x square minus x plus 1, then what would have? Then what should be done in this case? In this case, I will remove this also. I will remove this also. While removing this, I will not do anything. But when I will remove this, so I will apply a negative sign here. I will write it like this. So when coefficient of x square is positive, remove directly. When coefficient of x square is negative, then remove this and apply a negative sign. Yes, okay. So this particular, this can be written as, because see, right now we do not have a negative here. So I'm removing this negative. So right now what we can do is, we can easily write the whole expression as or also you can take this 3 to the right hand side. So this is nothing but this x minus 1, x plus 1, right? Both are positive. Just remove, I mean, both are expressions which do not have real roots, and the coefficient of x square is positive. So just remove them directly and divided by x to the power 4 greater than 0. This equation, this whole thing reduces to this, right? And now one more thing. आपके पास लीनियर फैक्टर जो भी एक्सप्रेशन आप चेक कर रहे हो, आपने अभी तक देखा कि जब हमने वेवी कर्व अप्लाई किया, Austin, I will come to you. Just give me a minute. When we applied wavy curve, right? So we saw that we have to factorize the whole expression into linear factors, right? Now, this particular expression contains a term in denominator also. We have not encountered this yet. अभी तक एक बार भी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि जहां पर डिनोमिनेटर में भी कोई फैक्टर हो. This is the first time there is a factor in denominator, right? And this factor is x to the whole power 4, right? Now, I want to tell you one thing. Whatever you have learned till now will be valid exactly in the same way for the factors of denominator also. जो भी सीखा है बिल्कुल ऐसे का ऐसे ही लगाना है. अगर डिनोमिनेटर में फैक्टर्स आते हैं तो भी, डिनोमिनेटर्स में फैक्टर्स आते हैं तो भी आप उसको फिर से फैक्टराइज करोगे, सारे का फैक्टर्स बनाओगे, सारे से जीरोस लेके आओगे. तो फॉर एग्जांपल, I would like to solve one question here. So let's say I have this inequality. I have to solve this. Now we know if x minus 1 into x minus 2 greater than equal to 0 was the question, we know how to solve that. But we don't know what happens now. I am telling you that you know already. You just don't know that you know. So what should we do in this case? अरे बिल्कुल ऐसे ही करेंगे यार. चलो एक मैं ही क्वेश्चन दे देता हूँ, एक सेकंड. मैं इसको थोड़ा टफ बना देता हूँ क्वेश्चन को, है ना, जिससे कि हमारे लिए आसान हो जाए सॉल्व करना थोड़ा सा. और ठीक है जी. और चलो ये भी एक x to the power 4 भी डाल देते हैं. So right now this is x to the power 4 into x. Yes. Ting ting ting. Interesting. Now this is a difficult question. First of all, difficult ऐसे difficult नहीं है. This is not like you don't know the concept, but you will miss. You can miss so many things here. That is why it is difficult. The concept of solving is not difficult, but the final answer will surely be wrong for all of you. I know this for a fact. Why? Because there is an inequality. There are terms in denominator. We know the conditions of domain also there. तो बहुत सारी चीजें हो जाती हैं जो हमें यहाँ पे सोचना पड़ता है. We have to think about a lot of things here. It's not that straightforward. Okay. First thing first. सबसे पहले powers remove करना start करें. Okay. Now we know odd powers can be replaced by power 1 and even powers can be directly ignored. This is odd power x minus 1. This is also odd power 5. So x minus 2. Now this is even power. I am deleting even power. But हमने बोला था while deleting even powers, you will also have to write the solution of them. Right? That is what we have talked about. But why did I talk about that? Because if x to the power 4 was in denominator and I put x is equals to 0, then this satisfies the whole condition. But if x to the power 4 is in denominator, then I don't want it to be 0. No. So this answer, this solution which I told you to write was for the numerator part. अगर न्यूमरेटर में कोई इवन पावर है तो मैं उसका सॉल्यूशन लिख दूंगा इक्वल्स टू के दौरान. इक्वल्स टू नहीं होता तब तो कोई बात ही नहीं है, तब तो कुछ सोचने का ही नहीं है इतना ज्यादा. बट जब इक्वल्स टू लगा हुआ है तब सोचने का है गाइस, तब सोचना पड़ेगा मेरे दोस्त, क्योंकि अभी ये क्वेश्चन को हमने थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट बना दिया. अभी हम चाहते हैं आप हर चीज को यहाँ पे फैक्टर में लो. तो x to the power 4 is of no use right now, no use, एकदम no use. Why? Because it can only make an expression zero or positive. Positive मतलब ये क्वांटिटी खुद में पॉजिटिव ही है x to the power 4. It will not change the sign of whole expression. What it can do max is it can make it zero, but not zero, infinity. We don't want that situation. So x is equals to 0, not required. चाहिए भी नहीं भाई, x is equals to 0 तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए कभी भी. If x is equals to 0, then the domain conditions are violated. We can't make denominator 0 in any case. In any case, no. Okay, so just delete the x to the power 4, and this can be written as 3 minus x. Okay, because this is an odd power, right? Now, next thing, check coefficient of x and check zeros, right? Check zeros, roots and coefficient of x. अब roots कैसे check करें? अगली प्रॉब्लम. चलो इसका रूट तो पता है 1 है, इसका भी 2 है, बट क्या इसका रूट निकालें? If we are finding the root, then why we are finding the root? First question is this, because denominator should not be 0. बिल्कुल सही बात है भाई, डिनोमिनेटर तो 0 होना ही नहीं चाहिए. हम अभी भी यही कह रहे हैं, डिनोमिनेटर बिल्कुल 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. पर रूट्स हम इसका अभी भी निकालेंगे, सबका निकालेंगे जितने भी लीनियर फैक्टर्स इन्वॉल्व हैं. However linear factors are involved in the expression, we will find out roots from every linear expression, every linear factor. We will find out the roots of every linear factor. Remember this. Either it's in numerator or in denominator, doesn't matter. Just find out the roots of all and go through the same process which you are doing, right? Okay, in that case, we have 3 roots, 1, 2, and then 3. X is equals to 1 is the root of this, x is equals to 2 is the root of this, and x is equals to 3 is the root of this. But the coefficient of x is negative also. Coefficient of x is positive in first and second case, but in third case, coefficient of x is negative, right? So take a negative common from here. If you take a negative common, then negative is outside. This is x minus 1, this is x minus 2, and this is x minus 3, greater than equal to 0. We know that there are 3 roots. We can easily solve this. बिल्कुल same methods. आप कुछ change ही नहीं है, सब everything is same now. So after this point, draw a number line, show the roots 1, 2, 3. Start with the negative, positive, negative, positive, right? Negative, positive, negative, positive. If you want why did we took this negative in the equation? Because we have taken a negative common from the denominator, 3 minus x. We don't want the coefficient of x to be negative in any case. Yeah.
Sir, here, like, how do we take 3?
Because x minus 3, I mean, x is equals to 3 is the root of this denominator.
Okay.
We will find out the roots from every linear factor and then plot them. We will solve it like we have been solving the previous questions. बस क्योंकि तुमने ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं किया तो इसलिए मैं करा रहा हूं कि डिनोमिनेटर में भी अगर कुछ आता है तो सेम ही तरीके से चलेगा, सब कुछ सेम है. हाँ, हम ये ध्यान रखेंगे कि डिनोमिनेटर का रूट आंसर में ना आए. अच्छा, मैं क्या कह रहा हूं अभी बताता हूं, रुको थोड़ी देर में. चलो ठीक है, यहां तक तो सब कुछ चल रहा है वैसे ही जैसा हम करते आ रहे थे. वी हैव बीन डूइंग दिस. ओके जी. Now what do we want? We want this expression to be greater than equal to 0. We want it to be positive. That is 2 to 3 and minus infinity to 1 is the answer for us. But now this part is same. यहां तक आप सब लोग कर, मतलब आप सबको करना चाहिए. मुझे पता नहीं आप कर पाओगे कि नहीं, I'm not sure whether you will be able to solve up to this part or not, but you should, because we have taught, I have taught you this, and we have been solving 6-7 questions on this. So you should be able to do up to this point. But the problem arises after this point. Why? Because how to give the final answer. Now, how to give the final answer, Mane? There is an equality here. Okay. Equality 0 Mane, you can take x is equals to 1, you can take x is equals to 2, but you cannot take x is equals to 3. X is equals to 3 cannot be the answer of this question. Because if x is equal to 3, then this whole expression becomes infinite, minus infinity, right? So while answering this, first interval is minus infinity to 1. So we have to actually be careful about where we are using open interval and where we are using closed interval, and then whether we are not leaving any point. Leaving any point माने जो फैक्टर्स आप डिलीट करते जा रहे हो उनके बारे में भी ध्यान रखना कि क्या हमें उसका सॉल्यूशन आंसर में लेना है या नहीं लेना. For example, in this case, x to the power solution of x to the power 4 is not necessary. Not necessary means we should not take this. Why? Because the solution cannot make it equal to 0, rather can make it equal to infinity, which is not desirable. But if this x to the power 4 would have been in numerator, then after deleting this whole, after deleting x to the power 4, I would have written here x is equals to 0 is also a solution, so that I get reminded कि हाँ भाई मेरे को पता है x is equals to 0 भी इसका एक solution है, मैं फाइनल आंसर लिखते हुए उसको भी अकाउंट में लूंगा, राइट? बट अभी उसकी जरूरत नहीं. Okay, so come to the part now. What we were solving? Yes, minus infinity to 1. Minus infinity, open interval, always open interval. 1, closed interval. Why? Because if you put x is equals to 1, the whole expression is equal to 0, which is desirable in this case, right? Union 2 to 3. Okay. Which interval at 2? Closed. Because if you put x is equals to 2, this whole becomes 0, which is desirable. But x cannot be equal to 3. Because if x is equal to 3, then in that case, the whole expression becomes minus infinity, which is not desirable. So this will be the final answer. Please note down this. This is very important. Everything which we are solving is very important right now. Is everybody done with this? Okay, so let's come to this. Now, this x to the power 4, again, even power of x or even power of a linear factor. So we can directly ignore this. And because this is in denominator, so definitely we can directly ignore this. We don't need to even check for anything. So this particular expression can be written as x minus 1, x plus 1 greater than equal to 0. दो रूट्स हैं, -1 and 1. x का कोफिशिएंट पॉजिटिव है. Coefficient of x is positive in both the cases. So we will start with the positive because the outside sign is positive, negative, positive. What do we want for increasing? For increasing, x belongs to, for increasing x belongs to minus infinity to -1. Union 1 to infinity. And for decreasing, x belongs to -1 to 1 except 0. X cannot take value 0. Because if x is 0, then denominator is 0. Or you can also see here in the function itself, x is equals to 0 is not in its domain. What is the domain of this function? Everything other than 0. Because there is 1 upon x cube involved. So this was a very good question on the application of wavy curve also and increasing decreasing function also. Guys, please solve these 21 questions up to next class because I will be asking questions from them. You won't be able to solve the questions from trigonometric equations. So I'll have to solve 2 more questions on trigonometric equations in the next class. Then we will proceed to maxima and minima in this chapter only. But before that, I want you to finish all the questions other than trigonometric equations. I think there are 4 questions from trigonometric equations, or whatever questions are from trigonometry. Just leave them and solve all other questions from the given 21 questions in the assignment. Okay. चलो, we'll meet on Monday now. आप लोग ये खत्म करके आइएगा एंड मैक्सिमम मिनिमम स्टार्ट करते हैं नेक्स्ट क्लास से. प्लीज खत्म करो यार, इससे डाउट्स आएंगे बहुत. मेरे को समझ नहीं आता यार, तुम लोग डाउट्स ही नहीं पूछते हो कभी. ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता यार, मतलब ये तो सिंपल सा सीन यही है कि हाँ, अंडरस्टूड की तो बात ही नहीं है शावेज. डाउट्स तो सबको आएंगे, क्या बात कर रहे हैं. मेरे को भी आएंगे, तेरे को भी आएंगे, हर किसी को आएंगे. डाउट्स तो आने ही आने हैं. डाउट्स नहीं आ रहे तो तेरी पढ़ाई में दिक्कत है, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ. तो गलत कर रहे हैं भाई कुछ. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग यू. मेरे को पता नहीं, बट अगर डाउट्स नहीं आ रहे तो प्रॉब्लम है, डेफिनेटली प्रॉब्लम है. तो प्लीज वर्क ऑन दैट. स्टार्ट सॉल्विंग क्वेश्चंस. यू आर नॉट सॉल्विंग इनफ क्वेश्चंस. आई नो दैट देयर आर मेनी क्या प्लेटफॉर्म्स नाउ व्हिच प्रोवाइड ये ना डाउट क्लियरिंग सेशन.